Hi guys, what's up? It's your girl Charla from That Girl Cooks Healthy. Today I'm gonna show you how to make these amazing plantain fritters. They're delicious, really easy to make, gluten-free, vegan, dairy-free, everything that you need in fritters. I cannot wait to show you guys how to make it, so let's get to it. Hi guys, what's up? It's your girl Charla from That Girl Cooks Healthy. Today I'm gonna show you how to make these amazing plantain fritters. They're delicious, really easy to make, gluten-free, vegan, dairy-free, everything that you need in fritters. I cannot wait to show you guys how to make it, so let's get to it. So the first thing we need to do is to slice our plantain, remove the skin. So what I do is I remove the ends and then I discard those, and then I just flip the plantain lengthways and I just score down the skin. So you want to score into the skin only and not the plantain, and then I just use my hands just to remove the skin, and because it's very soft it will be easier to remove. So you want to do that to all 3 of the plantains. So this is what the plantain looks like once the skin has been removed. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my paring knife and I'm just going to slice into the plantain to just create some large chunks. After I've chopped the plantain, I put the plantain in a bowl and then I'm gonna put it in my steamer. So the next thing I need to do now is to steam the plantain. So I have a large saucepan with boiling water and I'm just going to put my steaming basket in. And once I do that, I'm just going to carefully lower the plantain onto the steaming basket, and then I'm going to put the lid on, and I want to just steam my plantain for several minutes until it is really soft and the color will also change. So now the plantain has steamed, I'm just going to take off the lid to show you guys what it looks like. As you can see, it has a more pronounced yellow color because it is steamed through. I'm going to use my fork just to determine that it is really soft, and then I'm going to just transfer it into a bowl. So now that I've transferred my plantain into a bowl, I let it cool down first, and what I want to do now is I want to break it down further. So I want to break it down into a puree. So what I'm doing now is I'm getting my immersion stick blender. I find it easier to use an immersion stick blender. You can use a fork, or alternatively you can use a potato masher, and what you want to do now is you want to completely break down the plantain until it looks like a puree. So as you can see, the plantain has broken down into a nice puree. The next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to add my spices and pink salt. Also going to add my vanilla extract, and I'm also going to add my raw cane sugar. As I said before, this is perfectly optional. You don't have to add any raw cane sugar if you want to. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to add my gluten-free flour. So I'm going to mix that in, and once I mix that in, I want to get it into a nice smooth batter. If you find that it's difficult to stir, then you want to add a bit of water, which is why I said that the water is optional. So I added a little bit of water because I felt that I needed a little bit of water, because I felt that the batter was a bit too thick for my liking. So I add a bit of water. You want to add a small amount at a time if you are adding any water, and you want to make sure that the batter is not too thin because it will be too runny, and you don't want it to be too thick because it will be difficult to work with. You want to make sure that it can just drop off the spoon. So you want to do a test in the bowl, and if you can drop off the spoon, then it's pretty much good to go. So the next thing we need to do now is we actually need to fry the fritters. So I'm just going to add some olive oil to my frying pan. So you want to add enough olive oil that it covers the entire bottom of the pan. I don't really measure the oil, I just add enough that it's not, because I don't deep fat fry my fritters, that I just have enough that it covers the bottom of the pan, so the fritters will cook through. So you want to heat that up, and then I'm going to show you how I add it to make the actual fritters in the pan. So now that I've added the olive oil, I'm just going to determine that it's hot enough by just hovering my hand over the frying pan, and once it's hot enough, I'm going to reduce the heat to, I want it to be at medium. I don't want it to be too low, don't want it to be too high, or else the fritters will burn. And then I'm just going to get a spoon. So I'm using a large spoon, and I'm just going to spoon the batter onto the frying pan. You don't want your fritters to be too thick. Some people make their fritters quite thin, but I make mine with just a little bit of thickness, so they're not really thick, but at the same time they're not thin fritters. And I also make mine more of an oblong shape if possible. Don't worry too much about getting the right shape. You just want to make sure that you just drop it into the frying pan, and you want to be quite quick if possible, so they can all fry at the same time. I typically, because I have my fritters quite large, I only add about 3 or 4, and it's easier to manage this way as well. So what we're going to do is, once we've created about 3 fritters, I'm just going to cook the underside till it's golden brown, and I'm going to flip it over. One thing I recommend as well, when you're cooking the fritters, you want to rotate the pan as well, and you also want to baste the top with some olive oil. It's going to make it a lot easier as well to flip your fritters once they're golden underneath. So once the underside is golden brown, I'm just going to get a egg spatula, and I'm just going to flip it over. As you can see, the top is already pretty much almost set, should I say, from basting the top, and it'll make it easier because I'm not deep fat frying it. It does make it easier when you do that, and it can be a little bit fiddly at times to flip them over. So once you flip them over, again, you want to do the same thing where you're just frying the fritters until they're golden brown. So now that the fritters is golden brown and cooked through on both sides, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my spatula, and I'm going to remove them from the frying pan, and I'm going to transfer them onto a plate with some kitchen towel so it absorbs any of the excess oil. And once I remove the fritters, I'm going to do the same with the rest of the batter. So I'm just going to add the batter again, let it be golden brown on both sides, and repeat the same process. And I'll show you guys at the end what the fritter should look like. So guys and girls, this is what the plantain fritters looks like. Nice and golden, does not require a whole heap of olive oil to fry them, and yet they're still delicious. I hope you make this recipe. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like, comment and subscribe and support the channel, and I will catch you on the other side.